I think I should start. Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to my session on KVPY today. So it's very interesting. So KVPY is a very interesting and very coveted exam that a lot of students are very interested in, right? So today we will, try to approach this KVPY exam in a very step-by-step manner. Okay? So today I will focus on algebra, which is one of the most important aspects in KVPY. All right. So today this session will be of hello everyone, almost an hour. Welcome to my session on KVPY today. So it's very interesting. So KVPY is a very interesting and very coveted exam that. Yeah, guys, can you hear me, guys? Let me just check if everything is fine. Give me a couple of minutes. Let me check if everything is fine. Yeah, can you guys hear me? Just let me check. Give me a minute. Yeah, guys, just a minute. I'm checking. Yeah, cool. So I'm starting, guys. All set. So lot of students there are the Vedantu students, but lot of students probably they are seeing me for the first time. So let me introduce myself to you guys. Okay, so I'm Pulkit. I've done my BTech from IIT Roorkee, and in 2005, and after that I taught a lot of students. So basically, I started Laksh Institute. So I co-founded Laksh Institute in 2006, and I think many of you must have heard about Laksh Institute before, because last year All India Rank 1 in IIT came from Laksh Institute, and this year All India Rank 1 in AIMS have also come from Laksh Institute. But then we realized that, you know what, if we could do something really awesome in that small place, Patiala, where I started Laksh Institute, then can we take teachers like me, many other great teachers, to all the students across the country? And with that thought, then we started Vedantu. Okay? So then we started Vedantu, and on Vedantu, now today you are learning about KVPY, and I'm streaming this session live on YouTube today. Okay? Cool. Yeah, so chalo guys, let's begin. So before I start, let me give you a quick insight about what KVPY is. Okay, so I think all of you know about this exam, Kishore Vaigyanik Protsan Yojana, right? It's a very coveted exam, and the most interesting about this exam is that its preparation matches very nicely with your IIT preparation. Okay, so your preparation of IIT and your KVPY go hand in hand. So if you're preparing for IIT and especially have IIT advanced in mind, then KVPY is a great sort of simulation for you, okay, which comes in November. KVPY happens in 2 years. It happens in 11th as well as 12th. Okay, so in 11th we call it the SA, and in 12th it is called SX. But in very simple words, in 11th there are 4 subjects will come: P, C, M and B. In 12th, you have P, C, M and B, but in 12th, you have option to attempt any three of these sections. So typically, 12th graders get an advantage in KVPY because the syllabus of KVPY covers all the syllabus of 11th plus 12th. So for 11th graders, you should give KVPY because it gives you a lot of exposure. Try to attempt the portions which you have mastered. Okay? And there is a lot of benefit because let me tell you about in maths. Let me briefly tell you about the breakup in maths. Okay? So in mathematics, if you see algebra comprises of a humongous portion in KVPY. I have seen it coming to approximately 27.5, 28%. Okay? So algebra includes quadratic equation, it includes sequences and series, it includes binomial, which now is not in IIT, which is very, very important, but I've seen a lot of questions in KVPY. Okay? Then there is complex numbers, very, very humongous percentage of complex numbers. Okay? So all these topics comprise your algebra, which comes at a very high percentage. So 11th graders, you can definitely attempt, right? Then comes your coordinate geometry. I've seen that coordinate geometry questions varies between approximately like 5 to 8%. Okay? Then I've seen your differential calculus. So algebra and coordinate is something that 11th graders can also attempt a lot. Then comes your differential calculus. Differential calculus, as all of you understand, is your differentiation, application of derivative, right? So this comprises of approximately, I've seen questions varying to 20%. Okay? And your integral calculus, which is majorly definite integration and area under the curve. I've seen its portion again varying between like from 17 to 20%. Okay? And then you have probability, which comes at a very, very high percentage. Okay? So probability comes at a very high percentage, approximately 15%. Okay? And your matrix and determinants also comes. And determinants, it also comes for around like 5%. And you have trigonometry as well, which comes for around 5 to 8%. Okay? So addition will be of course greater than 100 because I have given the range here. So this is approximately like 25 to 30%. Okay? So that's why I took algebra today as the portion of our discussion. Cool. Now what will I keep doing? At Vedantu here, we will be definitely launching a very, very specific full syllabus course for KVPY very soon. Okay? But on YouTube here, I'll keep taking lots of very interesting sessions where we'll be keep discussing lots of questions that I will be doing today. And in general, I'll be sharing lots of mock tests of KVPY. Okay? And in course, there will be very, very specific simulated tests of KVPY. But in general, with you students, everybody out there, I'll share a few tests as well. Okay? Cool. Chalo, let us begin with taking some problems. So, the first few problems are going to be warm-up problems. So, what will we do today? Again, we will focus on algebra today. In algebra also, I will focus a lot on quadratic equations and in general theory of equations. That is degree 2 equations. Okay? Plus degree 3 equations. Cubic and the quadratic equations, both type of questions we will take up today. I'll take questions which have come in IIT as well as KVPY to give you a sense. Another thing, the today's session level is slightly on a higher level. Okay, so try to assimilate what I am talking today. Okay, but I'll keep the level slightly on a higher level. At least JEE mains plus level. Most of the questions are beyond JEE mains plus level today. Okay, and I'm assuming that basics of quadratic is learnt by you guys. Lot of students who are of Vedantu, you have already covered most of the portions here. So no worries, you can attempt these questions and keep learning. All others, again I'm assuming basic quadratic is done. Let's start with a very simple problem which came in KVPY 2012. Look at this. Read this carefully. ठीक है guys, today's session is majorly a problem solving session. Lots of interesting problems, lots of new concepts. Okay, read it. So what it says, suppose ABC are real numbers and each of the questions x square plus 2ax plus b square equal to 0, and this has two distinct real roots. Very, very simple. So what you know, just simply let's do it. Suppose ABC are real numbers. So x square plus 2ax plus b square equal to 0. This is given to you. And x square plus 2bx plus c square equal to 0 is given to you. Right? क्या होगा? Yeah, I can see the answers. So Vicky saying C, Rajesh A, Kalpana D, Mihir D, Brijesh A. So what is the correct answer? देखते हैं. देखो क्या होगा, बहुत सिंपल है. मैं फटाफट आगे बढ़ता हूं यहां से. I'll move fast here. So since it has two distinct real roots, then definitely all of you know that its d must be greater than 0 and its d should also be greater than 0. This will give you condition. What condition will it give? It will give you that what is d? 4a square minus 4b square greater than 0. It will give you 4b square minus 4c square greater than 0. Can you combine the two and comment about the third equation? That is where your answer is hidden. So majority of you are saying D is the correct answer, and D of course is the correct answer. Yes, Sai Rajat, Ajit, Pranshu, Harsha, Tripti, Sai Rajat, Vibhu, yes, Sambhav, yes, Rakesh, yes. Yeah, a lot of you are correct. Okay, so D is the correct answer. How I did? Again, let's look at this again quick. This was the equation given to you. Equation given to you. These two have distinct real roots. So I know that the d is greater than 0 for both of these, which led me to what? A square is greater than b square, and this led me to b square is greater than c square. Right? Can I combine the two? A square greater than b square, but b square is greater than c square. So can I combine and say that a square is greater than b square is greater than c square? Yeah? ठीक है? Which immediately implies that a square is also greater than c square. अब आ जाते हैं on the equation which question was asking me. The question was asking me about, wants me to comment about this quadratic equation. Now let's find out its discriminant. कितना हो जाएगा? 4c square minus 4a square. Right? Now, since from here I can see that c square is less than a square, which implies that ये जो discriminant आ रहा है उसके अंदर c square minus a square कितना हो गया? C square is less than a square, so c square minus a square is negative. Since discriminant is negative, so for this equation there is no real root, which almost all of you told me is the right answer. I am seeing your chat live. ठीक है? So that's what I am doing. I am having my mobile phone here and I am seeing your chats on my mobile phone. Chalo, so this was very easy question. Okay, so now let's keep building up the level. After 15-20 minutes, I'll really pull up the level. Okay, but you can see that easy questions also come in KVPY. ये तो simple है ना? JEE mains level. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Look at this question, guys. 2017 last year problem. Hint is it is super duper simple. Take 1 minute to solve it. Your time starts now. आराम से read it carefully and do. So Gunjit is asking, sir, will we get recording of this session? Yes, Gunjit, the recording will automatically will be available on the YouTube, and team will be keep answering these questions as I think they have just answered. Mariam is asking, how long is the session? Session is approximately 1 hour. For this question, I see one student has given me the right answer till now. Some students are saying that my voice is repeating. I think because I am opening this on my mobile as well. Wait, let me check. What can I do? I have muted myself. Let us see. So I see some of the answers coming right. Shashank, Kalpana, Arsh, Songs World. I don't know your name. Harshvardhan. Yes. Abhiram, Monica, Tech Spirit, Animesh, Harsh Sukheja. Yeah. Guys, A is the correct answer. I'll not devote a lot of time in solving it myself because it's very simple. देखो क्या करना था इसके अंदर. It's so simple problem. These 4 inequalities are given to you. अब देखो ध्यान से. I'm using the same concept. Remember, when 2 inequalities are given, I can combine the 2 to get I reach this inequality. I'll use the same concept here. This is given to me, and can you see this is also given to me? If you see carefully, this C plus D is repeating. So if you combine the two, okay, just follow this arrow which I have marked. You can see that A plus B is less than C plus D, but C plus D is less than E plus A. Okay? So A plus B will become less than E plus A. Very simple. Chalo, ye to ho gaya apna. But I can cancel I can cancel what from here? A can be cancelled out, leaving B is less than E. Similarly, look at this. Look at this one. B plus C less than D plus E, and this one. Do you realize this D plus E repeats? B plus C less than D plus E, D plus E less than A plus B. If I combine the two, follow this arrow, you will get this one. You can cancel the B and you will get C is less than A. Similarly, now I am looking at these two. Now look at this one and say this one. Okay? Because A plus B is repeating now. A plus B. So A plus B less than C plus D. A plus B less than C plus D. And A plus B is greater than D plus E. So do you realize what happened? It became D plus E is less than A plus B, which is less than C plus D. So this and this leads to this, right? So you can cancel out D and you will get E less than C. Now combine the 3. If you combine the 3, you have the answer. Very simple. देखो, E is the smallest, then comes C, then C is less than A, right? Cool. And B is less than E itself. So B तो सबसे छोटा हो गया. B is the smallest, then E, then C, then A. So what is the smallest? B is the smallest and A is the largest. चलो, बहुत simple question थे. I gave you these 2 questions to boost your confidence that KVPY questions are not that difficult as well. ठीक है? चलो, A is the correct answer, which by end I think a lot of you have started giving. ठीक है? Cool. Chalo, now let's move ahead now. Now let's come to some IIT JEE problems to revise some basic concepts of quadratic before I move to the KVPY questions. Okay? So this is a very simple question which came in IIT 2014. Let's do that. Okay? Lakshmi is asking, we didn't compare D. Lakshmi, we compared. Actually, we used all of these, Lakshmi. See carefully. Okay? And एक second, people are asking about ना ये तो नहीं है ना, it's only talking about largest and the smallest. Yeah, चलो cool. Come to this question again. Noted? Some students are asking about the D here. Acha, D, sorry, I probably missed, but it doesn't matter. You could combine this and one more, okay, to talk about D as well, but all I'm bothered about was the smallest and the biggest, which is captured, right? Okay, chalo, come here. So the students who were asking about D. Answer बताओ. देखो, the thing is, a quick revision of quadratic, guys, very quick revision of quadratic. Always remember, this is the graph of quadratic, right? This is the graph of y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. Okay? The graph is either like this or like this. Quick revision. If a is greater than 0, the quadratic graph faces up. If a is less than 0, it faces down. And I think all of you also remember that its vertex is minus b by 2a comma minus d by 4a. This is first thing that I think all of you know. We call this point as a vertex. Another thing that you know is that if a quadratic faces up, that is a positive, and if its d is less than 0, d less than 0 matlab no real root, then the quadratic is always above x-axis. So this is the condition for the quadratic to be always positive. Ax square plus bx plus c greater than 0, always, for all x belongs to R. Remember this. If the graph is always above x-axis, and this is the second condition that we remember. What is this? If a is less than 0 and if d is also less than 0, a negative matlab faces down and d negative matlab no real root. So the graph does not intersect x-axis. So this is the case when your quadratic is always negative, is less than 0 for all x belongs to R. Okay? I am not devoting a lot of time here because I think this is something which you have done in so much depth while learning quadratic. Okay? This question is a direct application of this. What it says, this quadratic is always greater than 0 for all x. ठीक है, इसका मतलब क्या होना चाहिए? Its a should be positive. What is a? Coefficient of x square, which is already positive, no problem. So only thing that you need to say is if its d becomes less than 0, ये वाला case, if the discriminant of this quadratic becomes less than 0, then this quadratic will always, its graph will always be above x-axis and hence it will always be positive. Just solve to get the answer. And all of you are telling me that the answer is B. A lot of students are saying B here. Ajit, Debraj Deka, Chirag, Gopal, Suditi. Yeah. What is the answer? B. Yes. Check the calculations. So this is what I just said. Guys, I'll be building up on this in the next few problems. Okay. So please see carefully. This is the quadratic. Since d is less than 0, because of this condition, for the quadratic to be positive always, bas rest is solving. Solve kiya, you reach till here. I hope all of you know how to reach answer from here. Wavy curve, -5, 2, plus, minus, plus. The students who learnt on Vedantu, remember we have been using this so much, right? So answer is for less than 0 between -5 se 2. That's your answer. Cool? Chalo. Very good. So I guess all of you got the answer B now. So let's move ahead. This is again a very interesting JEE problem. After this, we'll move to KVPY problems. हाँ Harsh is asking about tough wala. Harsh, I'll take. हाँ, no problem. Sambhav is saying he completed that by completing the square. Absolutely nothing wrong in that. ठीक है? Amit is asking how d less than 0. Amit, you have to revise quadratic or let me know. I'll share some previous sessions of quadratic. ठीक है, चलो. Come to this problem now. So we are already 20 minutes into the session. If b is greater than a, then the equation has both roots. So this is something that in the chapter of quadratic you must have learnt under the topic location of roots. The one who are studying on Vedantu, so we have completed this like 1.5 months back, location of roots. It's a question of that. So I am seeing the answers now. Yeah. Siddharth, Darshan, Abhi, Bindu, Yash, Debraj Deka. Yeah guys, answer is D. कैसे आया इसके ऊपर? It's a very verbal question. देखो, let me explain you. Because by now you must have done it. It shouldn't take more than half a minute to do it. देखो, if b is greater than a, then this equation. Guys, let's try to build this question like this. It's a very, very easy but very interesting question. Your f of x is, or your function is this. Is it a quadratic, yes or no? It's a quadratic. You can see it's a degree 2 equation. X square आएगा इसके अंदर. It's a quadratic. Now how will its graph be? Will its graph face up or down? It will face up, right? Because you can write this as x square minus a plus bx plus ab minus 1. So the coefficient of x square is positive. The graph faces up, right? Now, but you can see some very, very interesting things from here. Do you realize if you put f of 1, what will it become? What is the value of f of 1? If you put x is equal to, f of a. What is f of a? When you put x is equal to a, 0, this entire thing becomes 0. F of a becomes minus 1. And similarly, can you find f of b? If you put x ki value b in this, what will happen? This becomes 0. This entire thing becomes minus 1. अरे तो बहुत easy हो गया. As soon as you got it, see, you immediately knew that graph पक्के से कैसे बनेगा. The graph has no option but to be like this. Definitely A was somewhere here and definitely B was somewhere here because f of A कितना आ रहा है? F of A and f of B both are coming out to be equal to minus 1. Right? So f of a is negative, f of b is also negative, then the graph faces up. The graph faces up. So this is the only option of making the graph. The graph faces up, but f of a पे value और b पे value negative आ रही है. तो definitely the graph has to cut. The graph has to cut x-axis at 2 points. So definitely there are 2 real roots, and one root is less than a and another root has to be greater than b. So one root lies between minus infinity से a, one root lies between minus infinity से a, another root lies between b से लेके infinity. So imagine if these were your roots. So this is your one root alpha, this is your another root beta. Any calculation needed here? No, absolutely no calculation is needed. ठीक है? Make sense? Shashank, please no obscenity in the chat group, please. ठीक है? Yashika, you need to have some basics of quadratic and location of roots to understand this. Others guys, have you got it? Yes, no, yo, no. I want in the chat yo, no, if you got it or not. Okay, cool, got it. Some students have some doubt. फिर से quickly explain कर रहा हूँ before I move ahead. F of A and F of B both actually came out to be -1. Both these values are -1. So graph has to face up, but at certain values of x, the value of y has to be negative. It is only possible if the x-axis cuts the curve like this, so that at two points A and B, at the 2 points A and B, the value of the graph is negative. ऐसा तो तभी होगा जब ग्राफ ऐसे बनेगा. बस अगर ग्राफ ऐसे बनेगा तो we know where alpha lies and where beta lies. Alpha lies between minus infinity से A and beta lies between B से infinity. That's it, simple. ठीक है, cool. आ जाओ KVPY पे. Now this is a nice problem. This problem you can expect in IIT Advanced as well. You can also expect this problem in JEE Mains. JEE Mains में भी थोड़े से टफ प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं, ठीक है. So this is a good problem. Come. Guys, please don't use bad words in the chat यार. We are learning here. ठीक है. If you are not interested, move out. कोई ज़बरदस्ती थोड़ी है ना. Okay. अंकित A and B तो गिवन था ना अपने को. अंकित is asking how do we know A and B lies between the curve? Because A और B पे ग्राफ के ऊपर फंक्शन का वैल्यू -1 आ रहा था, राइट. बस इफ यू क्रिएट अ ग्राफ, ऑब्वियसली बिटवीन द रूट्स A and B विल ऑटोमेटिकली दे हैव टू लाई. ठीक है. अब्दुल्ला की बर्थडे आज. अब्दुल्ला हैप्पी बर्थडे एंड हैप्पी इंडिपेंडेंस डे टू एवरीवन बाय द वे. ठीक है. एंड द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस डे फॉर अस इन टूडेज वर्ल्ड इज your ability to think unbiased and have independent thought is the definition of independence. ठीक है. Independence is not freedom to do anything. Independence is taking that freedom to do something positive and meaningful in society, in life. That's the Independence Day for you guys, right? Okay, chalo. I hope you have read this problem. I'll quickly explain and then let's move towards solving it. So suppose there is a parabola. So parabola is nothing but this quadratic. Quadratic का graph is parabola, which all of us know. ठीक है. इसका answer is some students got it right. Rudra Mishra got it right. ठीक है. Yashika got it right. And but a lot of you are wrong. Abhi just got it right. Vitthal got it right. Vithal got it right. ठीक है. चलो. Ramakrishna got it right. चलो. Let's move ahead. So this is the quadratic का ग्राफ. एक बार ग्राफ को विजुअलाइज करते हैं. This question is all about graph, nothing else. Look at the graph. कैसे बनाए? It says it has two x intercepts, one positive and one negative, and its vertex is 2, -2. Let's try to use all these concepts. So first its vertex is 2, -2. It's its vertex. ठीक है. Now, but it also cuts x-axis. So definitely if the graph faces down and this is 2, -2, then this will be x-axis. Then the graph cannot cut x-axis, right? So this cannot happen. Agree? So what can happen? The only possibility is that the graph has to face up. The graph has to face up to be able to cut x-axis at 2 points. 2 x-intercepts matlab cuts x-axis at 2 points. So definitely this is the graph. ठीक है. Another thing that we know is that one intercept is positive, one intercept is negative. अच्छा, तो कुछ ऐसा होगा. It means this is the y-axis. This is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. Why? because one intercept is positive and one intercept is negative. बस बन गया अपना तो ग्राफ, हो गई प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व. अब देखो, या नाउ गाइज यू आर गेटिंग द राइट आंसर. आई कैन सी हर्ष, अक्षय, गेमिंग जोन, हाँ राइट आंसर. ठीक है, तुषार नो. ओके, सो एक्स इंटरसेप्ट पॉजिटिव, एक्स इंटरसेप्ट नेगेटिव, वर्टेक्स 2, -2. दिस इज द ग्राफ. अब क्या करें, आ गया आंसर इससे. कैसे? सिंस द ग्राफ इज फेसिंग अप, आई इमीडिएटली नो इज ए ग्रेटर देन 0. ये तो इमीडिएटली पता लग गया, बिकॉज विथ अवर ऑब्जर्वेशन वी कुड एनालाइज दैट ग्राफ कुड नॉट फेस डाउन. Had the graph faced down, then it wouldn't have cut x-axis and it wouldn't have had x-intercepts. So graph has to face up. तो A तो positive हो गया, ये तो clear है. Now, do you guys know this point? This point is called y-intercept. This point is called y-intercept. Y-intercept is the point where graph cuts y-axis, and if you realize that its coordinate is always 0, c. Because if you put x equal to 0 in quadratic का equation, y comes out to be c. So y intercept is 0, c. Do you realize that if you look at the graph, c automatically immediately appears to be negative? It has to be negative. Y intercept is negative. Yes or no? Y intercept negative हो गया. ठीक है. Third thing, can somebody tell me the third thing? I need one more condition. Can somebody talk about a plus b plus c? See very very carefully. If you look very very carefully, this point is 2. 1 will be somewhere here. If you realize, if you see carefully, f of 1 has to be negative as well, because 1 pe bhi graph is below x-axis. So do you also realize f of 1 is negative? F of 1 कितना है? If you put x equal to 1, you realize that it becomes a plus b plus c, which is negative. So all that I know till now is a positive है, c negative है, a plus b plus c negative है. Right? Now, one thing that I still is missing, I'm not able to find out how to talk about b. Suddenly you remember, अरे यार मुझे vertex का coordinate पता था. You remember vertex का coordinate was minus b by 2a comma minus d by 4a. So do you realize that minus b by 2 is actually equal to 2? Can you use this to find the sign of b? Let me show it in a fair way. I have solved it for you in a fair way. ठीक है, देखो what I am saying. I just said that the x coordinate of the vertex, which is 2, I know, because vertex is 2 comma minus 2 given है ना, 2 comma minus 2. So minus b by 2a कितना है? 2 है. But I know a तो positive है, so denominator is positive. Right hand side positive, so minus bb को क्या होना पड़ेगा? This entire thing should also be positive. So positive upon positive is positive, right? So minus b कितना है? Positive. So b कितना हो गया? Negative. b negative. That's it. So a positive, c negative, because c is the y intercept. ठीक है. I just calculated b negative. You can combine all these to get the answer b. You can see ab is less than 0, not greater than 0, as one of the option is. AC is less than 0, not greater than 0, as the option is. But BC is greater than 0, which is the option. And as I just told you, f of 1 looking at the graph is below x-axis, so it is negative, not positive as one of the option. Cool. So guys, if you realize, this is a very common variety of problems which is asked in IIT, advanced and JEE mains both. ठीक है, and the questions use only graphs to solve, absolutely nothing else. ठीक है, आगे बढ़े. I hope you got it. You or no? Okay, cool. Now come to this question of JEE mains. Now through this question I will enter into the cubic questions, the cubic equation के questions which have come in KVPY, a very common variety of problems. Till now we have done the questions of quadratic, we understood the location of roots wala concept, we understood how graphs can be used to solve problems in JEE and KVPY both. Now we are going a step further into the cubic. Guys, I see that here students are asking some doubt. For example, Pratik has just asked some doubt. Okay, Pratik and all of you others, I'll give you my email ID. Okay, you can email your doubts there as well, because it will unnecessarily otherwise stretch the session a lot. Okay, cool. गजानन, RMO and INMO level questions, भाई पहले ये वाले questions कर लो. हाँ, चलो, let's come to this problem now. Has anybody got it? Answer, no, none of you is getting right till now. Just one student, I'll not take the name, otherwise all of you will copy. One student just got it right till now. None of you. Okay, two students till now. One is Bhalerao, another one is रुद्र मधाब मिश्रा. ठीक है, चलो क्विकली गाइस. देखो, द रियल नंबर k फॉर विच द इक्वेशन इज टू डिस्टिंक्ट रियल रूट्स. बाय द वे, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द क्यूबिक कर्व इन डिटेल नाउ. देखो गाइस, अ क्यूबिक इक्वेशन y इज इक्वल टू ax क्यूब प्लस bx स्क्वायर प्लस cx प्लस d. I hope all of you understand that since it is a cubic equation, ठीक है, it will have some curve, but let's talk about its equation. If I talk about the equation ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d equal to 0, we know that it can have three roots. It can have three roots. Now, how can these three roots be? Either it will be either it will be what? One real, two imaginary. I hope all of you know this. Either it will be one real, two imaginary, or it will be three real roots. Because I hope all of you know imaginary roots always occur in conjugate pairs. So imaginary root can never be one. Imaginary root will always be two. They will occur in pairs, either 2 or 4 or 6 like that. But since it is a cubic equation, it can only have three roots. Now this leads to two types of graphs. Okay, this is how I am building the concept. If the root is only one real, it means the graph goes something like this, such that it cuts the x-axis only at one point. One real root matlab the equation ka graph cuts the x-axis only at one point. Right, which all of you understand, I believe. If there are three real roots, then the graph ka shape is like this. The graph ka shape is like this. Okay, because now the graph is cutting x-axis at three real points. Alpha, beta, gamma, all are real. Here alpha is real, whereas beta and gamma are imaginary. This is the concept of cubic equation का graph. ठीक है. Now the second question is, how do we decipher, how do we identify, is the graph like this or is the graph like this? The hint lies in the differentiation. So if you differentiate this f dash x, find f dash x. In this particular case, the f dash x will always be greater than 0. Why? Because it is an increasing graph. It is an always increasing graph. So guys, again I am repeating the story. Whenever you get a cubic graph, step 1, differentiate that. If your differentiation is either always positive or always negative, cubic ka graph will either always go up or always go down. In both the cases, the roots will only be one real, rest two will be imaginary. ठीक है, this is the case when you find f dash x. F dash x will actually have what? F dash x will actually become a quadratic and it will have two real roots. Why? Because there are 2 points here where f dash x is becoming 0. Here f dash x is equal to 0. Here also f dash x is equal to 0. So, if the differentiation of cubic gives you a quadratic which has two real roots, then the graph ka shape will be like this. But it still may or may not have three real roots, which I'll talk about sometime later. Okay? But now about the graph ka shape. Now let's come to the same question again. With this understanding which we just had. Okay? This is my quadratic my cubic equation. As I just told you, step 1, differentiate this. What awesome thing happened is, when you differentiated, you realize that f dash x is coming out to be positive always. See, f dash x kitna aa raha hai? 6x square, which is a positive thing. If you add 3 in a positive thing, it will still be positive. So your f dash x is always positive. So how will the graph be? The graph of this cubic will always be like this. It will always be like this. It will always increase for all the values of x. So it will always have one real root. It will always have one real root. Got it? Okay? So it can never have two distinct real roots. So actually answer is D, because this graph actually has only one real root. For no value of k, can it have two distinct real roots? Are you getting me, guys? Yes or no? I hope you are getting me. Right? Now I will build upon this concept now. Okay? And many of you are asking about JEE advanced ka paper hoga ki nahi? Guys, stop speculating. The news is not out, so don't bother and waste your time on random discussions. Come back to this KVPY question now. Let me see how many of you can apply the concept which you just learnt in this problem. Let us see. This problem is direct application of what I just told you. Just direct application. Hint is differentiation. First step is do differentiation of this. There lies the hint. Let's see who gives me the answer first. Okay, again expect this kind of a question in JEE advanced as well. Okay. One student got it right till now. Two students, Juijesh Bisai and Shreyans. Manoj Kumar Rai as well. None of you are correct. Okay. Srinab, Jayvardhan, Mariam, Sohil, Gunjit, Trupt, Prithvi, Yash. Okay, now a lot of you are getting it. Okay, cool. So what did you do? So this is a 2n plus 1th degree. Okay? Equation. Step 1. Step 1 is write this equation like this. ठीक है, क्या पूछ रहा है ये? It is asking the number of zeros. The number of zeros मतलब number of roots. एक ही बात है, number of roots. ठीक है, the number of roots of this in the interval -1 to 1. So it is talking about the real number of the real roots between -1 to 1. Step 1, do the differentiation. कितना आएगा 2n+1 x raised to power 2n minus 2n+1. Can you take 2n+1 common out? 2n+1 x raised to power 2n minus 1. Bus, this is your hint. Can you tell me, is it an increasing or a decreasing function? Is it an increasing or a decreasing function? Guys, क्या ये? It is a decreasing function. How? Again, let me show it to you. I have done it in a very fresh way here. ठीक है? तो as you differentiated, you got this, but you immediately realize, अरे यार, I have to solve the questions only in interval -1 to 1, and in between -1 to 1, when x lies between -1 to 1, guys, always remember x की power will always be less than 1. Okay, always remember this. It is very simple to visualize. Basically what I am saying here is, for example, you can take, say x की value ले लो half. If you take half की power anything, say half की power 8 या half की power 4, the number that you will get will be a fraction, right? So that will always lie between 0 and 1. Agree? That's what I am saying. So x raised to power 2n will always be less than 1. Less than equal to 1 if you have closed brackets between -1 and 1. So this thing is negative. So this thing is negative. So this entire thing is negative. So f dash x क्या हो गया? This entire thing negative. 2n+1 तो positive है. N is a natural number given. So this entire thing is negative. So fx is a strictly decreasing graph. So graph कैसा बनेगा? The graph is something like this. It will always decrease between, I'm only bothered about -1 to 1. ठीक है? So fx at max can cut the x-axis at only one point, because the graph always decreases. So at max it can cut the x-axis only at one point. Got it? That's it. Clear? Does it make sense? ठीक है? So again, if you see till now, we first started with quadratic, solve KVPY and IIT JEE problems. The concept was, the concept of graph should be very clear to you. Now we are solving cubic question के questions, the cubic equation के questions. Concept here is differentiate करो, look at the behavior. If the graph is always increasing or decreasing based on f dash, positive or negative always, the equation will only have one real root. ठीक है? Now let's build up on this concept in the next problem. Before that, एक काम करो guys. I'm just sharing a form with you. Just take this link. ठीक है? Just open this link. ठीक है? It's just a form. I'll be taking lots of sessions here, but I want to know some feedback from you guys before I move to the next problem. Just fill in. There are a couple of problems there. I'm also pinging the form in the chat. ठीक है? एक बार इसको दे दो, so that I get to know with which student should I be sharing the schedule of the upcoming sessions. ठीक है? What is upcoming? I'll be taking lots of sessions on complex numbers, coordinate geometry, with time calculus as well. Acha, by the way, there is a proper KVPY course which I will be starting very soon. I'll share the details of that towards the end of the session. But on YouTube, I'll be keep taking a few sessions here. ठीक है? So that many of you also benefit. But in the KVPY course, we will be covering entire +1 and +2 syllabus in a very concise way at a very high level. ठीक है? Targeting KVPY paper coming in November. That is a full course, KVPY course. ठीक है? But on YouTube also, I'll keep taking lots of sessions the way I'm taking it today. ठीक है? I'll be sharing a few mock tests here as well. A lot of mock tests will be in the course, but few I will share publicly as well. ठीक है? So please open the link. Guys, is the link opening? Need permission? Permission मांग रहे क्या? Oh, did I not give permission? Okay. Let me just check, guys. Give me a minute. Let me just check. Can I change the permissions? Okay, guys. Now try. Now try. Now try. Now you can try. This link, now try. Is it opening now? So guys, this is the link on the screen. It is vdnt.in/kvpy interest. Okay, now open. Now I've changed the permission. Just open this form and just fill it up so that I get to know with whom should I share the notification of the upcoming sessions. Also do one thing, also subscribe on YouTube. Also subscribe on YouTube का Vedantu channel. If you subscribe there, you automatically get notifications as well of the upcoming sessions. So fill in this form 1, ठीक है? And then second thing is subscribe on the YouTube channel. ठीक है? Cool. चलो. Okay, cool. Now let's move on to the next problem. Guys, come to this. ये interesting problem है. Let's see who can do it. Let's see who can do it. Read it. Let's see. अच्छा, one student got the answer as well. अच्छा, जो वेदांतु के स्टूडेंट्स है ना, the Vedantu existing long term course students, you don't worry because all the concepts that we'll be teaching in the KVPY course will anyways are getting covered in your regular courses as well. So don't worry. ठीक है? The Vedantu regular long term students, you don't have to worry. I see the answers. I'm looking at the answers right now. Rudra Mishra, Siddharth Garg, Abhiram Panda, Debraj Deka, Jayvardhan Singh Jhala, Abhishek Kasturi, Niharika Chhabra, Jayvardhan, Dev Jain. Yes, you guys are right. करे solve? चलो step 1 तो सबने कर लिया होगा. Now let me pick up the speed because it's almost 1 hour. I'll take like one more problem after this and then we'll close it. Let's see. देखो, so I'll not waste time in doing it, writing it entirely because I've already written. I'll just explain. देखो, step 1. As I just told you, step 1 is always differentiate, guys. Whenever you see a cubic equation analysis, step 1 is always differentiate. ठीक है? What you got is the discriminant and then it is a quadratic. It is a quadratic. अब क्या करें यार? If I somehow can see if this quadratic is always positive or always negative, so basically can I comment about its sign? ठीक है? For that I find out the discriminant of this quadratic now, which is f dash x. वो कितना आ गया? 4 times a square minus 3b. Now what I'm thinking is, अरे यार, if its d becomes less than 0, किसका d? This quadratic. If its d becomes less than 0, then this quadratic will become always positive. Remember, we just did in the start of this session. So it will imply that f dash x will become positive. If d becomes less than 0 of this quadratic, x square का coefficient तो positive है, this entire quadratic will become positive for all real x, which implies f dash x positive हो गया तो f x क्या हो जाएगा? Always increasing graph हो जाएगा. If it is always increasing, it will have only one real root. Simple. This is the logic that is running in my mind. So I am looking at that. So what I have is a square minus 3b to deal with. But if I look in the options, everywhere it is talking about a square minus 2b, a square minus 2b, a square minus 2b. यार ये क्या बेवकूफ़ी है? I have to think. So what I did, we observe that अगर यार a square is less than 2b, if a square is less than 2b, why? Because I am looking at the options. Because options में everywhere it is a square minus 2b. But I want to comment about a square minus 3b. तो मैंने क्या किया? अगर a square 2b से less है, if a square is less than 2b, then a square will also be less than 3b. Why? Because 2b positive है, a square positive, 2b उससे भी बड़ा, 2b greater than a square, तो 2b भी positive. So अगर 2b positive तो 3b positive, और 3b तो 2b से बड़ा होगा. So if 2b is greater than a square, then obviously 3b is also greater than a square, which implies a square minus 3b is less than 0. अरे, if a square minus 3b is less than 0, then is quadratic का discriminant less than 0. My story becomes true. It goes here again. It means f dash x positive. It means f of x is always increasing, which means only one real root. That is the question. That's it. End of the story. Very simple. Got it? So Lakshmi is asking, sir, how do we know b is positive? No, I don't. अच्छा, how do we know b is positive? Because देखो 2b a square से बड़ा है ना, 2b is greater than a square, a square तो positive है. If 2b is greater than a positive number, then it implies that 2b is also positive. Lakshmi from there. Got it? ठीक है, चलो एक और प्रॉब्लम करना है. लास्ट प्रॉब्लम. Are you guys interested? Sumalya Mukherjee is asking why d is less than 0. Sumalya, this is the concept of quadratic. If in a quadratic अगर उसका a positive है और उसका d discriminant negative है, then that quadratic is always positive, is the concept we are using here, Sumalya. ठीक है. अमृता एक बार रिप्ले देखना वापस से. पूनम इज आस्किंग एफ डैश एक्स से एफ एक्स को कैसे कंक्लूड किया. पूनम, इफ एफ डैश एक्स इज पॉजिटिव देन एफ ऑफ एक्स का ग्राफ इज ऑलवेज इंक्रीजिंग. दैट्स द रिलेशन बिटवीन एफ डैश एक्स एंड एफ एक्स. एफ डैश एक्स पॉजिटिव मतलब एफ एक्स ऑलवेज इंक्रीजिंग. एफ डैश एक्स नेगेटिव मतलब एफ ऑफ एक्स ऑलवेज डिक्रीजिंग. दैट्स इट. ठीक है. Cool. Chalo. So AR Academy is asking, is there no particular course for KVPY? Yeah, there is a course na, which I'll talk about after this question. So answer aa rahe hain, and let me look at the answers. Rudra again got it right. Rudra Mishra, yes, C is the right answer. Debraj Deka, you are wrong this time. Check karo calculations. Till now only Rudra Mishra, I think, got the answer correct. Good job, Rudra. What is the weightage? Okay, after the end of the session I'll again talk about the weightage and the paper ka format, don't worry. Kavita, Dev, Kavita, you got it right. Sumalya, yes. Rare Comet, whatever is your name, you are right. Rudra, you are right. Rudra Mishra. ठीक है, चलो guys, चलो let's go to the solving it. The sum of non-real roots of the polynomial equation. देखो बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग सा प्रॉब्लम है एंड इट्स अ परफेक्ट कैंडिडेट फॉर जेई एडवांस्ड एज वेल. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे मल्टीपल कंसेप्ट्स आर गेटिंग यूज. द फर्स्ट कंसेप्ट इज लेट अस से इट्स रूट्स आर अल्फा बीटा एंड गामा. कंसेप्ट 1, ये तो सबको पता है, क्यूबिक है मतलब 3 रूट्स. दे कैन बी रियल, दे कैन बी इमेजिनरी, आई डोंट नो. बट टू गो अ नेक्स्ट स्टेप, let me first do the f dash x, which I always do. What is the f dash x? करो 3x square plus 6x plus 3. You can actually write this as 3 times x square plus 2x plus 1. You can actually write this as 3 times. ये तो simple ही हो गया. ये तो quadratic analysis is very simple here because this is a perfect square. Do you realize that f dash x actually is equal to 3 times x plus 1 का whole square, which is obviously positive for all x belongs to R. अरे तो अपना काम आसान हो गया. As soon as you know this, you know that the graph of this cubic is definitely always increasing. This is x axis. Why? Because f dash x क्या आ रहा है? Positive आ रहा है, right? Which means how many real roots are there? Only one real root. I hope you understand till here. यहाँ तक की स्टोरी सबको क्लियर है क्या? So if f of x, so this equation has 3 roots, only one is real. This is say real, let me say this is real, and these 2 will be imaginary. ये तो सबको क्लियर है. Now the other concept which all of you should know is if ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d equal to 0 होता है, ठीक है, and if alpha beta gamma are is roots, then do you know the sum of the roots? Alpha plus beta plus gamma कितना होता है? Minus b by a. I hope all of you know this, right? x square का coefficient upon x cube का coefficient with a minus sign is the sum of the roots for a cubic equation, which I hope you must have learnt. I will use this. How? अब देखो. Now these were the basic concepts. Now I'll explain you how I went about solving this problem. ठीक है, ध्यान से देखना इसको. First, I said it is a always increasing graph. यहाँ तक तो समझ में आ गया. ठीक है, तो the only one real root is there, ये भी समझ में आ गया. अब मैंने देखा यार ये रूट ना, because the question is about estimating where some of the non-real roots lie between. So I am thinking about यार अल्फा प्लस बीटा प्लस गामा तो मुझे पता है. कैसे पता है? अल्फा प्लस बीटा प्लस गामा कितना हो जाएगा इस केस में? इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस अल्फा प्लस बीटा प्लस गामा तो मुझे पता है, कितना हो गया? -3 यूजिंग दिस फॉर्मूला माइनस बी बाई ए. यार मुझे सम ऑफ नॉन रियल रूट्स चाहिए, बीटा प्लस गामा चाहिए. दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट, दिस इज द क्वेश्चन. कैन समबडी टेल मी वेयर अल्फा लाइज विच इज रियल रूट? दिस इज माई रियल रूट. कैन समबडी टेल मी वेयर इट लाइज? वेयर इट लाइज, बस कोई मुझे ये बता दे तो मुझे अकॉर्डिंगली बीटा प्लस गामा पता लग जाएगा. अकॉर्डिंगली आई विल गेट बीटा प्लस गामा. मेक सेंस टू यू? अब देखो, अब मैं क्या करता हूँ, मैंने देखा यार. सो व्हाट एम आई गोइंग टू डू नाउ? माई एंटायर फोकस इज ऑन आइडेंटिफाइंग वेयर अल्फा लाइज. मैंने कैसे किया? थोड़ा सा हिट एंड ट्रायल किया. मैंने देखा इफ आई पुट x इक्वल टू 0, इफ आई पुट x इक्वल टू 0 इन दिस इक्वेशन, f ऑफ 0 कितना आता है? 3. मतलब ये ग्राफ y एक्सिस को कहाँ पे कट करेगा? एट 3, 0,3 पे. व्हेन x इज 0, y इज 3, ग्राफ इज ऑलवेज इंक्रीजिंग. तो यार कहीं पे तो कट करेगा x एक्सिस को टू द लेफ्ट ऑफ y एक्सिस. तो मैंने वैल्यूज पुट करके देखी. when I put minus 2 in this equation, when I put f of minus 2, ठीक है, I get a positive number. Then I tried putting f of minus 3, I immediately get a negative number. ठीक है, मतलब f of minus 2 पे ग्राफ अबव एक्स एक्सिस पे है एंड minus 3 पे द ग्राफ इज बिलो एक्स एक्सिस, मतलब पक्के से there is definitely the root lies between minus 2 and minus 3, which is my alpha. This is my alpha, the real root. So basically what I am trying to do, I am trying to find out where the graph cuts x axis. A bit of hit and trial here, which is a very common method. ठीक है, cool. So minus 2 पे देखा तो स्लाइटली पॉजिटिव आया 1, तो मुझे पता लग गया यार पक्के से minus 3 पे तो नेगेटिव जाएगा. एक्चुअली कैलकुलेट करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, यू कैन इजीली सी. सो minus 3 पे minus 6 आ रहा है, सो रूट लाइज बिटवीन minus 3 and minus 2. अब देखो यहाँ से, दिस इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, माई रियल रूट लाइज बिटवीन minus 3 से minus 2. ठीक है, बट आई ऑल्सो नो सम ऑफ द रूट्स इज अल्फा प्लस बीटा प्लस गामा विच इज minus 3. माई क्वेश्चन इज सम ऑफ नॉन रियल रूट्स. माई क्वेश्चन इज टू फाइंड आउट बीटा प्लस गामा. वापस आ जाते हैं, अल्फा लाइज बिटवीन minus 3 से minus 2. मुझे चाहिए बीटा प्लस गामा. बीटा प्लस गामा कैन बी रिटन एज minus 3 minus अल्फा. ठीक है, सो इफ आई यूज दीज टू, अगर किसी को डाउट है तो मैं एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ इन डिटेल. minus alpha lies between minus 3 से minus 2. Can I multiply, can I add, sorry क्या किया मैंने, my bad. Alpha lies between minus 3 से minus 2. Can I multiply all sides by minus 1? कितना हो जाएगा, minus alpha lies between 2 से 3. All of you know. I am looking at minus 3 minus alpha because that is beta plus gamma. Can I add minus 3 on all the sides? Add minus 3 on all the sides. Add minus 3 on all the sides. क्या आ जाएगा? It will give me minus alpha minus 3 less than 0 greater than minus 1. बट वॉट इज माइनस अल्फा माइनस 3? दैट इज बीटा प्लस गामा. बस वही तो मेरा क्वेश्चन था. दैट्स इट, आंसर इज सी. समझ में आया? आई टुक अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू एक्सप्लेन बिकॉज देयर आर कपल ऑफ कंसेप्ट्स इन्वॉल्व्ड, बट आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड इट. मैंने बोर तो नहीं किया आपको? हाँ नीति इज सेइंग इवन फॉर minus 1 इट इज पॉजिटिव. ऑफ कोर्स नीति, minus 1 पे तो पॉजिटिव होगा ही ना, minus 1 पे भी पॉजिटिव होगा ही. ठीक है, प्रखर इज सजेस्टिंग अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग मेथड. प्रखर बोल रहा है यू कैन इजीली फाइंड द रियल रूट बाय मेकिंग इट अ परफेक्ट क्यूब. थिंक अबाउट द मेथड विच प्रखर इज सजेस्टिंग. देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ वैल्यू देयर. Prakhar Agarwal has suggested a method that you can easily find the real root by making it a perfect cube. Think about what Prakhar just said. There is a hint there as well of an alternate method. Yes, Prakhar. ठीक है? Pooja is saying, sir, non-real imaginary roots occur in conjugate pairs. Will their sum be 0? ना. कैसे होते हैं roots? Pooja, one root be like a plus iota b, another root is a minus iota b. Is there sum 0? No, their sum is 2a. It won't be 0. ठीक है? चलो guys, there are lots of problems, but I am taking only these problems till now. There are many problems out there. ठीक है? On this chapter, but I am closing the session now. ठीक है? The ones who are asking about the KVPY का course, ठीक है, सो यू कैन कॉपी दीज लिंक्स फॉर द KVPY का कोर्स का डिटेल्स. ठीक है, बट आई हैड शेयर्ड अ फॉर्म ना, ऑल्सो फिल इन दैट फॉर्म. आई हैड शेयर्ड अ फॉर्म जिसका लिंक ये था. दीज आर द कोर्स लिंक्स. these are the course links. If you want to enroll, directly enroll from there. ठीक है? And by the way, so for example, if I'm taking say 100 sessions on the course, ठीक है, I will pick out a few of those concepts and take say 7-8 sessions on KVPY on YouTube as well. ठीक है, out of those a lot of sessions that will be there in the KVPY का course, but few of the concepts I'll take on YouTube as well. So you can actually give me your details in this form which I had shared with you. यही था ना form? So that I can keep sharing you the next sessions which are happening on YouTube का schedule. ठीक है? AR Academy is asking their full course or their only maths course. If you have any such query, na, email me at this email ID. I am also sharing my email ID with you. pulkit.jain@vedantu.com. For any query or any doubt na, which you had in this session or otherwise about the course or anything, email me at this email ID. ठीक है? I am giving you a few questions after this. Solve it. You can email me or fill in this form. ठीक है? I'll email you the solution of the questions that I'm going to give you. Aryaman is asking, is it compulsory to give SA and SX? No, if you're in 12th, you will give SX. If you're in 12th, you will give SX. ठीक है? ठीक है? I'll share a few questions, don't worry. Also guys, subscribe to YouTube channel of Vedantu so that you keep getting the notification about the next sessions which are coming up. ठीक है? चलो और questions दूं? Do you want more questions? Let me give you a few questions. ठीक है? I hope I didn't bore you guys because I'm just getting a hang of at what level are you able to solve the questions. I see that a lot of you are giving me right answers. So my next session the level will be higher. ठीक है? Let me give you a few problems today. I hope you have noted this down. Take this problem, note it down. Note this down. And then I will give you one more problem after this. This is a nice problem by the way. ठीक है? Perfect candidate of JEE Advanced. I really like this problem. Let's see how many of you can give me the answer of this. Ankit is asking about KVPY details. Ankit, abhi batata hu. Wait a minute. Let students note down the questions. And Vedantu existing students, you need not enroll for KVPY course. Everything that will be taught in KVPY course is anyways getting covered in your regular courses. Vedantu students, long term students. ठीक है? नोट कर लिया? एक और प्रॉब्लम नोट करो. Note down this problem. Note down this. This is a very simple problem. This is a problem that you have already done multiple times in quadratic. Hint is range of quadratic. Hint is range of quadratic. Very simple. Again an IIT problem candidate. ठीक है? Clear? And how many of you are Vedantu students there? Can you guys say V? The ones who are Vedantu students in the session today? ठीक है? Note कर लिया ना? Now let me again revise about the KVPY का pattern that you students are asking me. So okay, I can see some V's there. Ye Shruti V. Okay. Good. Great guys. Awesome. सुपर या संभव, शॉर्ट टर्म हो या लॉन्ग टर्म हो, कोई क्या फर्क पड़ता है। ओके अच्छा ये देखो, क्विक रिविजन अबाउट केवीपीवाई का पैटर्न। सो एज आई टोल्ड यू, केवीपीवाई हैपन्स इन 2 grades 11th and 12th. In 11th the paper का name is essay. You will have 4 sections PCMB, all compulsory, ठीक है। In SX which the students of class 12th will give, you can choose any 3 of the 4 sections, ठीक है। The syllabus is entire 11th and 12th, but अच्छा by the way, out of physics, chemistry, maths and bio, the toughest is maths in KVPY. So when you are attempting the paper, be judicious in attempting the paper. For example, you might want to give higher time to physics because that will be simpler as compared to maths. Chemistry will be simpler as compared to maths. Maths is typically tougher. ठीक है Pradeep, you can email me separately about the SAT course. My email ID is pulkit.jain@vedantu.com. Pradeep Sharma, you are asking about the SAT. Okay, now the syllabus for KVPY का breakup is very different from IIT Advanced का breakup. For example, Algebra comes at a very high percentage in KVPY, 25 to 30%, which includes Quadratic, sequence and series, binomial, complex numbers. Binomial and complex numbers come at a very high percentage. So in fact, the next session on YouTube that I'm going to take will be on complex numbers. ठीक है Then coordinate, differential calculus, integral is very important. Integral and differential calculus. Probability is very important. ठीक है So for 11th graders focus on algebra, focus on coordinate, focus on trigono. Enough for you to clear the cutoff of KVPY. Don't worry. ठीक है चलो कुछ समझ में आया कि नहीं होप आई एडेड सम वैल्यू टू यू गाइज ठीक है यस और नो ठीक है सो कीप लर्निंग कीप हैविंग लॉट्स ऑफ फन लर्निंग एंड गाइज हैप्पी इंडिपेंडेंस डे एंड एज आई जस्ट सेड use your independence judiciously. Independence is not about doing any random thing freely. In today's world, you have the independence of thought. Your thought should be independent and unbiased. Religion, region और ये जो सोशल मीडिया पे एक बायस आता है, free your brain from all those things. Think deep, think independently, think positive, do good in life, and at your age, use your time judiciously to prepare yourself. KVPY, IIT JEE, NEET, all these examinations are just opportunities for you to train your brain to learn something interesting and something new. Because probably this physics, chemistry, maths or bio is something that you might or might not use in your life ahead. But during learning these subjects and these complex concepts, the training that you have given to your brain will always be with you, and that confidence that you have built for yourself will always be with you in your entire life. That is success, and that is why you should work hard in these 2 years. समझ में आया? ठीक है चलो all the best, goodbye, see you soon in some another session. Okay, chalo, bye bye.